Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
the Sultan of Slut, Eric Icarus, and don't you ever forget it, kids. Oh, man. How are you doing, my friend?
Dude, I'm great, man.
Did you know that you can follow us at the REC podcast?
It's true.
You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast, and you can go check out our shop at REC Comics. For at REC Comics and Collectibles. Did you guys come and visit us? Did we do a con, Eric?
I believe we did.
I
believe we were there.
We talked about it last episode. We did the Colorado Springs Comic and Toy Con. It is a local con put together by this guy Clint. I'm sorry, Clint. I do not remember your last name. I'm surprised I even remember your name. I'm not gonna lie. I am terrible with names. I'm a face guy. And face man.
Face man.
And yes, we did our first convention.
Yes.
Not as the podcast, but as vendors. Because you know, we were doing some comics, and we had a really, really fun time. We've attended a bunch of cons.
A few, yeah.
And you're a little bit more green than I am.
It's been 2 years. Well, 1 full year because of the shutdown.
Yes.
So I've only got 1 year
of San Diego.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like going, you're like the kid from Rookie of the Year. You went right to the pros, for your first time. There was no easing you into it. And that's how I was too. My first real con.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a flea market.
Right.
Was San Diego in 2008.
Yes.
Great year, 2008.
Because there was nobody really, it was big, but
it was $75 for every day. It was just $75 for those 4 days.
No,
dude, you were packed shoulder to shoulder. I remember me in front of the show. Well, friend of us, Jeff Olson. I don't know if you've listened, Jeff. We were trying to get exclusives like the first night, and this just like massive like pile of people, and we're like trying to get to this thing, and there's this like pregnant woman, and she's like, "Stop pushing me!" Like all these, and she's like using the fact that she's pregnant to like get closer.
Oh,
so she's playing dirty pool, and Jeff's like, "You're in the wrong freaking place," you know.
Oh, he said that to her for real.
Yes.
Because you're in the wrong place.
Yes. And needless to say, Jeff got me the toy that I needed, and I'm not gonna say he fought a pregnant lady. I would never say that. That maybe would happen, but I will never say that. I don't know. I wasn't there. I was on the other side, not getting the thing that I wanted. So,
she is in the wrong place.
She was in the wrong. Yeah, you can't. And you know what? I had heard that was like the beginning of the end when it was
2008.
Yes, because that was
Iron Man had come out.
Iron Man had already been out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like. But the big thing that was there was Twilight.
Oh.
So there were so many like moms and like it was weird.
So
yeah.
But it wasn't what it is now as far as like how ginormous.
So yeah, it's bigger now, but it's far more organized. Like they were handling today's numbers on 20 years ago's budget. So there wasn't enough security. I mean, there were guys who like made their kind of hay on YouTube about like, I'm going to sneak into the Comic-Con and I'm going to get to all these things that all these idiots paid $75 for, which is nothing now.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like $290 now.
Yeah,
I think, which is still not bad. Still not bad. It's the hotels and getting there.
It's the accommodations that'll kill you.
But anyway, that's for another show, guys. And we've had some of that show before. But we did our own attended our own local convention. I don't know, what would you say? There was like 25 vendors there, give or take. Definitely not less, maybe more. A bunch of, a couple of the local shops in our area, couple of, just like regular Joes, just trying to, peddle their wares.
Yes.
And it was a really fun turnout. It was a little hectic getting to it. I was still pricing stuff while we were open, but Eric and I, we got slammed right away.
Right when those doors opened, people were ready to go. I think I chalk it up to maybe people wanting to get back into con season.
Yes.
And people excited, thirsty even for the sense of normalcy of a con. I know it's not everyone's bag, but the people who love cons, that's their thing, man. Whether you're selling or attending, it's an experience, folks. You gotta remember, like you said, I'm a little green to this, and I just jumped in feet first. I'm in love with it. I love the whole aspect of a con, dude. It's great, dude.
And these, and I bet you there's a lot of these hot gendered people who are, their bottom dollar was hurt, because going to cons, cosplaying. Those gendered cosplayers, they need cons.
They do.
You know, it is advertising for them.
Absolutely.
It is revenue. You know, it is everything for
them.
Yeah. I don't follow many cosplayers. I know there was a time where you did. I don't know how often you're
we still talk to them, and you know, one of them was there.
Oh, nice.
I ran into her, and it was she recognized me. And I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, so you still doing the show? I'm like, yeah, we got a booth over there. And
did you not remember her name?
I don't offhand.
At least I know Clint's name.
Yeah, exactly. Georgia Peach. That's her name. Yeah, she was there dressed up as Velma from Scooby Doo. Go check her out.
I did see Velma.
Yeah, that was her. I was just walking through, and she's like, Eric? I'm like, oh my God, what's up? So yeah, we do, for newer listeners and watchers, we do have a Colorado Springs Comic Con video from 2019 where I interview a lot of the cosplayers. Yes. So go check that out.
Very awesome Deadpool cosplayer.
Oh yeah, they were great.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was a good. It was good for things to come. It was a good showing of things to come.
Dude,
things are getting back to normal.
It is, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to be really stressed out, and it was a little stressful right off the bat.
It got a little stressful.
I was just like, but we handled it really
well.
Jumped
right in, and it was great.
I will say, my man Eric here, I'm glad he's so pretty, and he said to me during the con, he said, man. He said, I need to bone up on my comics,
oh, I do.
Man.
Ooh, I do.
And it's to hear him say that is like, oh, okay. Because like he was just telling me today, like I had brought a lot of modern stuff.
Right. Modern grails.
Yeah. Eric's very 90s. He's got
early
some
2000s. Early 2000s.
But yeah.
Anything after that, I didn't know. I did know this, but I had to ask what the significance of Invincible Iron Man.
Number 7, number 9. Yeah, which one's better? Why? It's because everybody was asking, and that's great.
It's great. I was like,
I learned a lot. Like, I need to know for the next con that I should write. Like, I put like colorful Post-its with the price, and I should write, first appearance of Riri Williams.
Right,
you know,
Miles.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell cover. Like, what is the significance of this?
Mexican variant cover.
Yes, the Mexican variant was very confusing for the Ultimate Fallout 4 LA Mole or La Mole. I don't know what it is. I think it's LA Mole. It's probably La Mole now that I think about it. But anyway, Mexico will do their own variants to comics. Turkish variants are starting to creep up in popularity, but these LA Mole or La Moles are really cool. It's a reprint of Ultimate Fallout 4 in Spanish, and it's the exact same cover except it's a metallic foil.
Mm-hmm.
And up on the nice wall that Eric decorated so beautifully. Was one of these, and he was getting countless questions about it. Because if the light doesn't hit it right, it looks like the regular cover.
Right. Oh, I want that for whatever you priced it for.
Having it priced that low. But
yeah, and I had to keep that. No, it's a variant cover. Mm-hmm. You know, still worth to have in your collection if you're a Miles or Iron Man fan. Yeah. You know, definitely worth having.
Yeah, it was.
But I had to brush up on these. A lot of these books, I didn't know the significance, and luckily my man's was here because I did not look like I knew what I was doing.
I know. It was a little rough. And, I honestly didn't think we were going to be as busy as we were.
I really didn't either.
I thought I was going to be able to do more on-the-job stuff. We can do this together, da-da-da-da. For the next con, a week before, I'm going to have everything fully priced, and we're going to have a meeting, a show meeting like we do for this show.
And then we'll just
I don't get why we didn't apply that kind of thought to this.
Well, we're busy. We're working, and we got things happening.
We got things.
We'll get to this in a moment, kids. But my man's got a lot going on here, and I got things going on.
Yeah. We all got our fingers in a lot of pies.
This.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, you guys see we still got the comics out. You guys know I'm lazy, but
there's a reason
not a side effect of being lazy.
It's not sloth.
This is a side effect of being productive. Kids, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we are making an announcement. Some of you know.
Boys and girls of all genders.
Of all genders and ages and all kind of types, which we'll talk a little bit about in Loki.
Hey.
REC Comics and Collectibles, we are, how do I want to say
officially brick and mortar.
We are going to be brick and mortar.
That's right. That's right. Kids.
Coming in August, I will give more details as I get more details. Yeah, tentatively August. We will be opening REC Comics and Collectibles. This is my childhood dream.
It is.
To own my own comic book store. I left my job almost 2 months ago, and I've been getting stuff ready to do this. Yes. We've had a lot of kind of obstacles, nothing crazy, just
Just
par
what,
for the
you're going
course
to go
things.
through when you want to open a business, especially during these times.
Yeah, so we started telling people at the con, so I wanted to say it here. Yes, we are going to have our own place that we would love all of you to come visit.
Yes.
If ever you're in Colorado Springs, we'll post pictures on the Instagram. We'll get everything as we know more things. I do have the address, but I wanna get a little bit more things in
right.
forward. But yes, it's big news.
It's a huge deal. Especially because of the market we're in. My man wants to make this, which is brilliant, a destination rather than just the store.
Yeah.
This is going to be almost a mecca for Colorado Springs.
I'm hoping.
Denver has Mile High. Springs going to have REC.
Yeah, we're gonna do it upright. I'm not gonna tell you guys what we're gonna do. You're gonna have to come see it. Okay, but there will be more details to come for all of you guys who came and spoke with us, said hi, bought
a couple
some
people
things
from a couple fans of the show.
It was nice.
It was interesting.
It was such a great outing. I didn't have a single negative experience at the con. And I don't think that that's a normalcy. It was, it's a smaller convention.
Right.
But, there was a lot of people there for me, not to see me, but like, it was a lot. And I think we handled it well. I had such a blast. So the guys, if we got the new listeners from the con, thank you so much.
Welcome to the fold.
This is what we do. We are comic book shop talk. We are not the news. I'm
not Huey Lewis.
No, and I am not the news. So we're just talking like we would talk if we were in the store, which will be coming soon. Okay, and we'll be shooting from the store when
we're going to get there eventually, which is going to be weird.
Yeah, it will be weird.
I'm going to miss this old place.
I'm going to get my basement.
The bunker.
Yeah, the bunker, I'm going to get my basement back to its full glory, But it's been nice. I still think I'm going to leave the TV here. I'm going to get some nice chairs for me and your dad to watch some MCU movies. You could lay on the floor or whatever.
I'm down with that. I've slept down here a few times.
More times than I care to admit. Well, the All-Father known as Kevin Feige has blessed us with a new MCU Disney Plus show.
Yeah. Not What If, which is what I want.
Yeah.
Which I'm waiting for.
Which is coming. It's coming. Let's let it marinate. You have to let it simmer. Okay, you have to let it simmer. They hit us with a good 1-2. Really solid jab with Scarlet Witch. Kind of a weaker follow up with that hook. I enjoyed it.
Falcon
and the Winter Soldier. The last 3 episodes I didn't think were as strong as the first 3.
No.
And
I would not even hesitate to say it wasn't very good in retrospect.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I like the character so much. And give me another like a Zemo miniseries.
Yeah,
I'd be down with that.
That's what stole the show.
I want more Zemo.
These side characters keep stealing the show.
Well, we'll see because we've got Loki.
Yeah.
The god of mischief himself, and such a smart idea to take the Loki from the Avengers Endgame timeline that gets away with the Tesseract when they're doing the time heist. We're going to follow this Loki. And I don't know. So I enjoyed it. Eric's a little bit
I'm on the fence. I'm very on the fence with it. I anticipated it. Yeah, you're right. I think with WandaVision, it really heightened my expectations of what Marvel MCU TV could do. Mm-hmm. Then we get Falcon Winter Soldier, which was kind of a step back. It feels just with the pace of that show, the editing was awful in some of those episodes. Mm-hmm. Didn't answer a lot of questions. It gave us a lot of cool characters. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Isaiah Bradley, come on now.
It was a showcase.
John Walker, yeah.
It ended up being a big showcase.
Fan service. Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Which I'm fine with.
Sure. But, then we get Loki. So, I'm going into this with expectations hampered a bit. I think it's overtly complicated. I don't think it needs to be that complicated, but I will say this. It does open up a lot of avenues, and I think this is the show to watch before we jump into Phase 4. We need to watch. You all need to watch Loki, because I think this is a lot of plot threads are going to be starting here.
Yes, and kids, we are going to be talking spoilers.
Oh yeah, so,
hardcore. This is today is Tuesday the 15th. So episode 2 has not come out yet, but this episode of the show will come out after episode 2. because for some reason they want to do a Wednesday show, which is funny because I believe what I saw, I believe it was like an official Marvel Studios.
They're gonna do it on Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, that they were like Loki would never follow Thor's day. So I'm down.
I get the significance, but shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, you clever. You just think you're so clever.
Think you're so clever.
So, kids, spoilers. Yeah. What was cool... So, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I like.
Sure.
I'm going to talk about some of them in order. Maybe you can just kind of bounce off and then interject. There were a little bit of reshoots from the... you could tell because the hair was significantly different.
Yeah, totally.
But some reshoots from the Avengers Endgame. We see some of that footage of when Tony Stark and Ant-Man are trying to get the Tesseract, and Tony Stark has the heart attack, Tony Stark kind of has the heart attack, and Ant-Man hits the box, and then Loki picks up the cube.
He's gone.
Hulk comes down, hits Stark, whatever. So they reused some of that footage, but then you could tell they added a couple more things, like more facial expression scenes of him, like kind of putting together what's going on. Grabs it, teleports to the Gobi Desert for some reason. I don't understand because it doesn't, like, why would you go there? Like, you know how to use a Tesseract.
Yeah. You think you go back to Asgard
or somewhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
So why
or
go
nowhere?
Why
go to nowhere?
Why go to the Gobi Desert? And then we get introduced to the TVA. Right off the bat, the Time Variance Authority, which is, this stuff's fun for me, guys. This. Eternals, because like these things I'm familiar with, but I'm not this is not my expertise. Is the Time Variance Authority, is the Eternals. So for the first time in almost 12 years, I am being like surprised by a lot of Marvel stuff.
Right.
Like really surprised. So it's cool to kind of see this, see them kind of opening like little doorways.
Yeah.
And what was great is that, Loki tries to kind of bust a move, and he gets hit.
Yeah.
And he's like moving at 1/16 the speed, and at first I thought something happened.
Right. Oh, to
my feed. I was like, God, and they put a collar on him to dampen his powers, take him to the TVA. What'd you think about the opening?
The opening, like you said, I don't know the significance of the Gobi Desert. I like the way that the time... I'm just calling them time cops, because that's what they are to me. Looking for that Jean-Claude Van Damme cameo. Word up. I liked how they were incorporating some of the colors.
Yes.
Of the magic and the stones. I don't know what the significance is going to be yet, but the hitting him was purple. When they hit him with that thing, it was purple energy. They used the yellow energy to cleanse the time or whatever. So there's significance there. The colors are going to be significant.
I did not pick up on that. Okay, interesting.
I do enjoy how when he does get hit and it goes at 1/16 the speed, that he's feeling all the pain through that slow motion.
Yeah.
So he's feeling it a long time.
Real time.
So they're torturing him a little bit, Yeah, it was cool. It did give us a cool opening. It was a great opening.
They called him a sequence. They said it was a sequence violation, and they called him a variant.
Yes,
I'm down.
A good opening. Solid opening.
In breach of the sacred timeline, which is not a term that I'm familiar with. And then they take him and then they destroy the timeline.
That's what the yellow thing.
They cut it off.
Yeah.
With like this grenade.
Yep.
A time grenade.
That's the cleansing thing.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Like, why? This show has
more
a
like
very
when.
When is Gamora? Why is Gamora? I think that this is going to get overly complicated because it always does with time travel. But I do love it when they do a cartoon reenactment sequence for us. This movie does feel like it's in the same vein of Thor Ragnarok. Has a lot of the same beats.
Same humor.
Him being taken, dampened. Being explained. When Thor's going through the tunnel of love type thing. This, you see him, Loki, watching like a very 50s cartoon, like explaining that
where he's at. He's giving us exposition as well
in this multiversal war, which I'm not familiar with, and these characters, the Timekeepers, that I'm not familiar with. Like they basically cleansed the other timelines, and they monitor.
They're clipping the branches.
Yeah, they clip the branches. So when Loki takes the Tesseract, like he was supposed to be captured, taken to Asgard. So when he does that, he create very much like a Back to the Future type thing.
Tangent.
Creates a branch. They intercept the guy who created the branch, take him, destroy the timeline. Yep. So the timekeepers keep a single timeline, which is it. I don't like the idea of that, like painting Marvel into a box, because it's such a big deal for X-Men that there are multiple timelines.
Sure.
Now you could just say, oh well, we're meant to have multiple timelines. Right.
X-Men. They'll write it in somehow.
Yeah.
I think they just have to explain why this Loki's here and why isn't it not causing a tangent in other realities. So that this is just a way to write themselves out of there. And it makes sense, and it's in a way where it makes comic book sense.
And basically, when these variants, they create a Nexus event, which we're all familiar with the Nexus from comics. Man-Thing guards it. It's the Nexus between worlds.
Man-Thing.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a very obscure reference that we've had. They had the Nexus of information in Age of Ultron.
Yes.
So they've been using Nexus a lot, and then I do think that we're going to get Man-Thing down the road. Possibly even a giant-sized Man-Thing.
No, I need my giant-sized Man-Thing. I think it should be Man-Thing.
We split. We go. And we go check out what turned out to be 1549 in this like French cathedral. And we get introduced to Owen Wilson, Agent Mobius. A character I'm not familiar with. He is a better time cop, time detective.
Time detective, there you go.
And he's investigating... it seems like a variant is eluding the TVA, killing what are called the Minutemen. Those are the people that apprehend Loki.
Get it? Because of time!
Ayo! And then took their time grenade. Mm-hmm. I'm calling it a time grenade.
That's fine.
They did not call it that. I'm calling it.
That's what it is, and that's what we're calling it.
They keep saying a reset. It's like, hey, a reset, man. You're talking about killing these people.
You're blowing up this
existence.
Exactly.
So that's interesting, and Owen Wilson seems to be like a pretty decent like detective.
Right.
He gets word that Loki is being arraigned for being a time variant. So it sounds like, if you're guilty, you just get reset, you get time grenaded. But he seems very intrigued. There's a little thing that really upset the internet, is that under gender,
it's a fluid, which I think is brilliant.
Yes,
because for those not in the know, Loki becomes a female in later issues of the comic book, which makes sense. He wouldn't need a gender. He's a shapeshifter. Yes. He's a sorcerer. It makes total sense. Everyone calm down.
This is also a being that in actual Norse mythology turns himself into a female horse to get pregnant and birth an 8-legged horse.
Exactly.
This is par for the course. Yeah. The fluid doesn't even begin to explain what Loki is. Exactly. Okay, so if you have an issue with that, turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn off the
Just
show.
Go. This isn't for you. If you're getting upset about that, jeez.
Yeah, like
calm down.
It's
everyone.
Bizarre, but I like how Owen Wilson is very intrigued by this. They make mention that this was the 6th attack on Minutemen, so at the very least, this time variant that is eluding the Minutemen has at least one time grenade and could have up to 6. That seems like a bad idea.
Blowing up time.
That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, like for what point? Because for whatever job you would need, you only need one.
Right.
So even if you go to the sacred timeline, you hit the reset thing, it would make sense. Maybe the timekeepers could intervene on the sacred timeline.
Right.
Who knows?
This is where we get the timekeepers, the 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? There was a kid in the cathedral, French kid, who may have witnessed what happened, and the kid that he asks him in French, Owen Wilson does, like what do you see? Who did this? And he points to like a stained glass of the devil. Yet another.
Is it Mephisto?
It's Mephisto. It'll be interesting. And he also gave the kid this candy called Kablooey, and it was like I don't know what I don't get the reference.
I think maybe it's a dated candy. Because you notice they have like outdated sodas that they're drinking in the office too.
Yeah, but also like,
or maybe that's a time cop weapon. I don't know.
But like this in the France in this timeline, it's 1549.
Yeah, he's like, what is this? A rapper? What is this? Yeah. Kablooey.
Yeah, kablooey.
Sok me blue.
So Loki is really trying to like flex that he's a god, but it's apparent here in the Time Variance Authority in this reality or wherever they're at, his powers don't work, the Tesseract doesn't work, and it's very like he doesn't know like what's going on. He's like I make my own. Yeah, I make my own way. Blah blah blah. Right. I'm ascending to power. He thinks that the Avengers went back in time to stop his ascent to be king. He has no idea that he doesn't even make it. Nope. You know? And Mobius shows up at his kind of court hearing and is like approaches the bench for the judge and says, "Hey, like I need this guy." Basically, she's like, and she even says, "I don't like where this is going," and no, and he says, "I look, I need help," and it seems like he wants Loki's help.
Sounds like what they were trying to pitch to Feige. Yeah. Just a transcript from the pitch meeting. Yeah. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, but I'm going to see where it's going to go. So Mobius kind of takes Loki and is somewhat interrogating him in a It's a Wonderful Life-esque type way. Right. We're kind of, I love the kind of retro feel of all this stuff, where it's like very retro-looking technology doing something awesome. Right. Like he hits like it looks like a little tape, like old school, like videotape, or not even videotape, just like audio tape. Yeah. But it's small on like a bubbly like looking television screen, but it projects like cubes that make a very clear picture. Yeah. And we're seeing his, just kind of Loki's greatest hits from Thor 1, from Avengers 1. And Agent Mobius is telling him that basically he's like just trying to ask him questions, trying to get like, what do you get out of this? Like, you become king, and then what? Exactly. Like, what's your plan? Yeah. Just really asking the questions. Yeah. He said, well, I'm gonna, I don't know. And he asked Loki, like, do you enjoy hurting people? Yeah. And Loki seems a little thrown off by that to an extent. And I love this moment where he says, I'm meant, Loki's like, this is my birthright. I'm meant to be king. And he's like, no, like basically your birthright is supposed to help form the Avengers. Yeah. Like your thing is to bring out the best in other people. Yeah. Which is like, what a crappy compliment.
I mean, if you think about it, those are your best villains. Yes. Your best villains are going to bring the best out of your heroes. Yes. So, and all, just when it's said and done, Loki's got to be one of the greatest villains ever. He gets us the Justice League. I mean, the Avengers.
The Agent Mobius says that he specializes in dangerous variants. I think
that's you too, right?
Yeah, I do too. Yes, that is what
he hunts for dangerous variants.
There is a scene which while fun, really irritated me. And I need to know a little bit more. You probably have more of the background. But we see a scene of Loki on a plane in the, 60s or 70s.
Sure. Yeah. That's
Do you know much about that backstory? About DB? Oh, dang it. No. I should have looked into it.
DB Cooper, you mean?
About DB Cooper. Uh-huh. So it's not just alluded to, like basically.
He's saying that Loki was DB Cooper.
Which I know he steals money and nobody ever found him because he parachuted out.
He jumps out of the plane with the money. So there's two stories that he either died, jumping out of the plane, or he got away. Yeah.
Because they never found the money, right?
Well, they did.
Oh, they did?
They did find the money.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So you do have more on this.
Yeah, so a few, years and years later,
real life,
this is our timeline, our reality. They did find some of the bills from that heist. Yeah. They washed up onto some bank, some river bank, and some people found it. And like, what's this? And then took it somewhere, and then they found it was the money that was in DB Cooper's briefcase. So maybe he lost one of the bags, or some of the money fell out, but no one found DB Cooper's body. Yeah. So, but yeah, they are just saying Loki.
Yeah, he kind of says, "Oh, this was a joke. Like I lost a bet to Thor," and he says, "This is what bothered me." He says, "I was young." What do you mean you were young?
This was the 60s.
Yeah, this was the 60s, and you're like 1,000 years old.
Yeah, so the 60s to the 2010s would be like
nothing.
What, like 6 months in Asgard years?
So I didn't like.
I was young. I was six months younger.
Yeah,
I was a youngling.
I didn't. Yeah, I
didn't like that either.
I thought the joke was funny, but that, as a comic book fan, it happens all the time in comics, so I'm used to it. Right. Where they do something that like changes something that happened significantly.
They retcon things.
All the time. So this is a retcon, but this is a retcon that just seems lazy.
Sloppy. It was sloppy.
Yeah, just sloppy. Yeah. I did not care for that. It just really seems that Agent Mobius is really trying to understand Loki.
Right, of course.
His perspective, what he's from. He even starts to show stuff from Thor 2, where
the greatest.
Dude, I never picked up on this, and I like Thor 2. It's
I
okay.
did too, actually.
It's fine.
A lot of people hate it though.
I like the character stuff in there. Like I said, the villains are weak, even though I love Eccleston so much. But and I didn't even think about it. Like, Loki is the one who sends Curse to kill. Mm-hmm. Like, he thinks he's sending him to kill Thor, but then kills the mom.
Exactly.
Spoilers. And, and you see that really affect Loki. Like, whoa, because this Loki hasn't done that.
Yeah. This is 2012.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yo, do you guys have my mom?" Like, he's all upset and everything. Like, it was a very sweet, sweet moment. Yeah. I thought, and it kind of makes Loki like want to go. Owen Wilson or Mobius gets called away to do something. Loki's able to get out, and he starts he's looking for the Tesseract to get out. He doesn't know that the Tesseract doesn't work here yet.
Right.
He takes the mailroom boy. Guy takes him to the lockup storage, and they're looking for the Tesseract. He finds it, but in this drawer, there's tons of Infinity Stones.
Yeah, it's just in a box.
2 or 3 of the same type, and Loki is what Infinity Stones. And he's yeah, they don't
really do anything.
They don't really do anything. A lot of guys use them for paperweights. It's clearly. And he's
he's dumbfounded by that.
He's dumbfounded. He gets his. He says, "Is the TVA the greatest power in the universe?" And he ends up fighting. He keeps having this on again, off again kind of fight with a woman who brought him in.
Yeah.
And she keeps messing him up. But finally, she has a decent fight with him, or he has a decent fight with her. Gets his collar off, puts it on her, gets her trapped in that loop. It was a great scene. Great scene.
It was
super
cool.
Fun.
Very awesome.
But did you catch the Peggy Carter thing?
No. What?
So these nerds, you nerds online, and I went back, I watched it a second time, and I did catch it. There's a moment when Loki's walking through the TVA, and one of those portals open up, and a Minuteman is bringing in a woman, and when you pause it, it looks like Peggy Carter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, and I'm not even saying that it is, oh my God, what is her name? She is wonderful. The actress that plays her.
Yeah.
Haley Atwell. Jesus.
There we go.
Same hair, same dress.
Right.
I watched and enjoyed both seasons of Agent Carter. Yeah. So good.
It's the best show no one watched. Yeah.
So underrated. I blame you.
It's your fault,
America. And it was quick. It's Loki is in the main set of the frame of the foreground.
Right.
And then you see the portal open up the corner. So but it was definitely for fun. But it definitely,
you never know.
It was Peggy. How could it not?
Yeah. Could be setting something else up.
Loki gets back to the room where he was being interrogated, kind of plays forward, and he kind of sees him and Thor reconcile. Mm-hmm. He's seeing some of the things that he would become had he not gotten the Tesseract. And then unfortunately he sees himself get sex choked to death by Thanos, and it just kind of blows his mind.
Yeah.
And I think really what blows his mind is the fact that he was doing all of that good.
Right. And that he redeems himself in their eyes, in everyone else's eyes. He thinks he's doing what's right at this point.
He sees Odin, the scene where Odin says, "I love you, my sons."
Yeah.
When in Thor Ragnarok, before he
goes into the ether. Yeah.
Goes into Valhalla. So it was cool. He gets to see where that's going, and Owen Wilson says, shows up, and Loki's I can't go back to my timeline. I will help you, kind of thing. And here's the big spoiler. So if you did not watch episode 1, go ahead and just fast forward. Loki says, I don't enjoy hurting people. It's the weak man's tool to feel strong. And I thought that was very revealing about Loki, especially this version of Loki. Not the comic book version. This version of Loki totally makes sense that is. Yeah. Because we see where his path did go.
Right.
He does die fighting Thanos, trying to save his brother.
Yep.
So, for me, he's a redeemed character. And he says, I'll help you, basically. And then Owen Wilson tells him, hey, the variant we're hunting is another version of you. So very much like the One in that Jet Li movie.
Yeah, the One.
Okay, so It's not Loki, right? Somebody else.
It's going to be Loki. It's female Loki.
Okay, so female Loki is the popular
that was the
theory.
clue with the fluidity, and it would make sense.
Okay,
it make a lot of sense. I mean that's just I believe that's where it's going to go.
What I would love is if it's not only the female Loki. So if there's a storyline, and I'll give the quick synopsis.
Lady Loki. There we go.
The Lady Loki, where it's after Ragnarok, which would make total sense.
Yes.
So it's after Ragnarok in the comic books. And basically, all of the Asgardian souls get tied to Earthlings, and Loki or Thor gets tied back to Donald Blake, his kind of first host. What
the lame doctor?
Yeah, the lame doctor. And then Thor spends this storyline searching for his brethren.
Yeah,
and he thinks he's going to find Sif, but then it ends up being Loki,
Lady Loki,
in a woman's body. And in deeper story, actually, Loki had appeared in a man's body, put himself basically trapped Sif in an old woman in a coma, or she couldn't talk or something like that, and then took her host.
Yes,
and then is this Lady Loki for a while. Does some good, does some bad, does a lot of this and that. So not only would it be cool if it was Lady Loki, it'd be even better if it was Lady Loki from the comics.
Right.
I would love that.
That'd be a cool way to do this. You know what this does set up?
What does it set up?
We get the setup for Lady Loki versus Jane Foster Thor. And that's where this setup is going, kids.
Smart.
So we're going there.
Just really.
That's where we're going. And that's fine. Because, in this day and age, we want our heroes to be a little different. Why not shake it up a bit on the movie screen and do what the comic books couldn't do? Because they lost a lot of their readers because of the gender switch.
Yes.
And I think, times change. Yes. And it's a different format. Yes. This is a TV show / movie. And I think the MCU audience would be so down with this.
Yeah.
We get to see the power of Thor through a woman. We get to see the power of Loki through a woman. Mm-hmm. How does it differ? And I think it's going to make for some awesome cinema. Awesome fighting.
Yeah, because I think that it would be too hard to not make it comedic. Tom Hiddleston Loki versus Jane Foster Thor.
Right.
It would be too hard to make it. Although the fight with Hela and Thor was really
great.
Good.
It was good.
It was really good. So, but yeah, I did not think about that it could be. Oh, we want to keep Lady Loki around.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we'll keep them both. I think we'll probably have Tom for a while.
Yeah.
But I think our new Loki will be Lady Loki, just as Jane Foster is going to be our new Thor probably going forward.
Yeah, which at least for a movie, I can handle it for a movie.
Who knows? Maybe it's so awesome, and it very well might be, and we're gonna be, this is our new Thor.
Yeah. Hey, they end up transitioning her to a Valkyrie again in the comics too. So we could see a version of that.
Right, because Hemsworth probably wants to move on.
Yeah.
I have no doubt he wants to do a few more movies, but eventually he's gonna be like, I don't want to do Thor anymore. But then again, I cannot see Natalie Portman necessarily wanting to play Thor, Jane Foster through a lot of movies. But she did sign on for Thor 2 because she thought Catherine Bigelow, or who directed Wonder Woman, because she was supposed to do Thor 2.
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins was supposed to do the Thor 2 originally. Couldn't agree on a script, and the only reason Natalie Portman signed on for the sequel was because Patty Jenkins was doing Thor 2.
Yeah.
And she ends up jumping ship and kind of got stuck in this movie, and that's why she kind of had a little vendetta against Marvel for a while, was because they kind of duped her into being in that movie. But now they're going to redeem her.
Patty didn't want to do the script that they had.
Right. Well, I think the way it was explained to Natalie Portman was, she's on board. Yeah. We want you to,
gotcha.
Be a part in that. I think they kind of lied to her.
Yeah.
So they Loki'd her.
It is. It's interesting. And I can't remember his name now, but the head writer for Falcon Winter Soldier, he was saying that the pitch that he gave is actually way different than what came out. And they do very different things at Marvel where it's not traditional. It's like, hey, yeah, you get to steer the ship, but we're putting the stock in the back. You're taking it to the place.
Yeah.
You're choosing the route, but you're taking the ingredients that we gave you. That's how that so he said, once you can figure that out, it's gonna be fine, because it can be such a springboard.
Yeah, of course.
So it is. They do things different there. I'm in for it. I'm trying to think. It just seems too obvious that it's a Lady Loki.
No, it's got to be. That's where we're going. They're leaving clues there, man.
Yeah.
And then again, why not do it this way? It asks so many questions about gender roles, and that's been such a hot topic in our society, the world at large.
What I'm gonna is that we think, whatever happens, we think the Lady Loki survives, and then it's revealed in Love and Thunder that it's Tom Hiddleston pretending to be Lady Loki,
which I'm good with too.
Just layers.
They're inceptioning us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I just want to get Frog Thor.
Yeah.
Bring that in. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I don't know what the point of that story was.
Frog?
Yeah, Frog Thor. Don't remember that.
Throg.
Is that Throg?
Yeah, Throg. Yeah. Yeah. Throg the Thunder God. Do you
remember that? What happened?
Yeah, Loki just turns into a frog. Yeah, just like
that's how awesome and simple the stories used to be back in the day.
Yeah,
he's like, let's make Thor Frog for I don't know 5 issues.
Your dad's got a very limited. I think I got it for him at Gentle Giant of the Throg. Yeah,
it's so cute and awesome. I love that one.
Yeah.
He's got an awesome. collection of busts. They're all very cool.
In part thanks to us. We found some great finds for him.
There are some, the Warriors 3 one is so cool. His Hela one is awesome. His Enchantress bust is
He didn't even know. I got him the Hela one. He didn't even know that it exists. And I saw a pre-order for it just randomly.
Wow.
I think they only made 400 of them or something like that. So I tried to get 2. I could only get 1. Yeah.
They only did, wow.
Yeah, it's a very limited. It's very rare. It's very
damn.
Rare. Yeah.
That is cool.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So we're getting a lot of cool Thor stuff coming up. We're going to be getting, Jane Foster Thor, Horse Thor, aka, we could get Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker with a hammer, guys. All right, it's hammer time. But you didn't really you weren't blown away by this one.
No, I think I need another episode, maybe 2.
Totally.
I think it was overtly complicated.
It was.
It just. Unnecessarily complicated. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're doing that to kind of throw us off, but everyone acting in there hits a home run.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the acting.
Owen Wilson is great in there.
He's awesome.
And being able to see Tom Hiddleston chew up all that scenery.
Great.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I like the set design. Like you said, I like the retro futuristic technology. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily date the TV show. Mm-hmm. So everything's a little dated and retro, like you said, retro, but it's doing all this cool stuff. Yeah. So, it doesn't take place in any real time period. Yeah. So, this is, like I said, I think I needed 1 more, 2 more to make a very sound judgment on this. Didn't catch me right away, but I said, this is probably going to be the most important show you need to watch out there.
I'm very excited for it.
This is going to be our lead into Phase 4. We get the Timekeepers, we get Kang. We're going to get Kang in this somehow.
Yeah.
Immortus, maybe. They talk about a Nightmare division. Why not? We probably will get Nightmare somewhere out of this. Yeah. So a lot of things happening in Loki. So this is the one to watch, kids.
I thought that Owen Wilson's charm really sung in here.
I forgot how much I liked Owen Wilson.
Yeah, when Loki, when Loki's like, I'm going to burn this place down. He's like, you can start with my desk.
Yeah,
yeah. And then he talks about I think he's talking about the Nightmare division. He's like, I will help you burn that place down.
It's crazy because it's funny. A lot of stuff isn't adding up, but Owen Wilson is the minus man.
For the Minutemen. Oh my God.
It all makes sense. Minus Man, Minute Man.
Yep. It's we've talked about the Minus Men on the show, and if you haven't seen it, I say watch it.
Go watch Minus Man.
You're gonna love it. It's the greatest Owen Wilson movie ever. That is our show, kids. If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. For you newbies, please help us out with that subscribe. Tell your friends if you like the show. If not, come check us out at the next con we attend. Come check us out at our brick and mortar. More info to come. Mm-hmm. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you thought of the show, of the Loki show. Did you come see us at the con? Say hi again. Eric, do you have any final words for us today?
All the store news, all I got to say is it's hammer time.
Oh, God.
Because time.
And hammers, maybe?
Hammers, Yeah. Please hammer, don't hurt him.
Oh, there we go. I like that better. Kids, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I am still Eric Icarus.
And we will catch you on the next podcast.